We'll say a big howdy to all you agenda rights in the house. We've got our bath time for the reaction. We've got Dora for the action, and we've got um Yabba for the reaction. I was trying to think of that name for that James Bond name, but it completely slipped my mind again. What was his name again? Bath
Odd
time?
Job.
Odd Job. There you go. Maybe he didn't look a lot like Odd Job. But look.
It's Baron Samedi.
Sorry, Baron Samedi. Guys in the chat, if you don't know who Baron Samedi is, get to know. Guys, look, we're here. Chat, you can wait a minute. I'll get to you guys in a minute. I can see you all there, but I want to be polite. Bath time.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm very happy with my weekend.
Put a smile on your face, have I?
Yeah, like like even when we were a treble-winning force to be reckoned with, an away point at Anfield is never a bad thing. So, like, I'm delighted with an away point. That's a real New Year's gift.
Yabba, how are we?
Yeah, really good. I agree with bath time. I'm sure everyone's going to be boasting up this evening. But yeah, really proud. When the final whistle went, I was like, ooh, really impressed. And it's all about PMT, positive mental attitude. Remember that advert?
That's PMA.
PMA, sorry. I'm just so excited, yeah. Positive mental attitude. And that's what we had today. I can name out 5-6 players that really impressed me today. Not because of their ability or anything like that. We all know they've got ability. But as soon as you turn up the attitude and have come with the right attitude and desire and character, you can capable of winning any game in this league. So we matched them and physically and with the energy, and we had a chance to win the game. So I'm really delighted, and I've got a lot to say. I mean, I'm sure everyone's got a lot to say, but really excited. This could be the turnaround for us.
Dora, how are we?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking me. I was a bit stressed before this game. I was stressed during the game, and I kind of, for the very rarely this season, I felt like United could have won today with the performance, especially against Liverpool, and because we all predicted that we are going to lose by a large margin. This was a very refreshing. How do you say it? Refreshing game to see or performance from United. So yeah, I'm quite happy, and as Big T, I'm having a very good weekend. Thank you.
All right, look, let me just say a couple of howdies to the people in the chat house if they've made the effort to turn up. Eddie's Football Waffle, big up, guys. We should have won. Where has this side been all season? Can they keep it up? Mr. POTUS, what team did I just watch? That wasn't a relegation-bound side. You were the only one talking about relegation. Let's have a look. Matty Bassett, big up, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I don't think anybody played today with the weather down here. Solo, oh, good result. Is that it? It's just good result, Mr. Negative, yeah? Stephanie, I hope you're doing well. Bilal, Ahmad, the new Singju Park turning up in big games. Not quite sure about that. Andrew's got his score prediction in nice and early. Let's see what he was given. Anana 5, Maz 6, Dalo 8, Maguire 7, Delit 5, Martinez 8, man of the match. Mainu 7, Ugarte 8, Bruno 7, Ahmad 7, Rasmus 8. Okay.
He's given Rasmus a 4.
No, he's given. Oh shit. Oh, he gave. Oh right, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Gave Ahmad. Oh right. Yeah, sorry. I got you. Thanks for that, bath time. I wondered where he got an 8 from. Bart, Too bad for Man United fans that their soccer club can't play Liverpool and Man City every weekend. It's all right. It's the turning point. You keep talking because I know you expected to get your points, you fish. Andrew, people don't watch the games very carefully. Bruno gave us a lot, but he continued to just waste possession throughout the game. His set pieces were very oh, fuck off, Andrew. I'm not in the mood for no fucking negativity today. I swear down, I'm fucking not. We just drew a game that everybody expects us to get our ass busted, and you're talking negative. Save that for Monday, man. Grace, Dallo, 15 out of 10 man of the match. He really gave Trent a roasting today, to be fair. Simon Warner, I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well. Who else have I missed out? Stuart Marshall. Why can't we play like that every week? Maybe this is the start. Subvids is saying great game. Have I missed out anybody else? Kieran, we're the strongest team. What? We're the strangest team I've ever seen. Why can we perform against City and Liverpool but lose to Bournemouth and Forest? Best performance of the season for me, but why? Just why didn't Xerxes shoot? Because he passed the ball to Maguire. Maguire hit it over the bar. Xerxes under pressure. He was never going to shoot. The Crow is saying, I assume that's Liverpool. Dave P, even in further evidence that the system can be effective against top uphill, and did the lack of midweek games help to get a few training issues sorted? 2 days. What did he have? 3 days training? Who else have I missed on here? Oh, Jan Marley. Holy smokes, what did I see today? Can we bring the team up to this level every game from now on? We'll have to wait and see. History with Mo. This team is bananas. Didn't expect that at all. I thought we'd get trounced 7-0. I thought we were going to get done 4-0. Yabba, you went for a score draw, didn't you?
No, I went for 0-0.
Half time, you went for the score draw.
I went for a score draw, yes.
Okay. Damien Walsh, Harry could have been a hero for life. I'm not even really too disappointed in that. Tyrone, how you doing, man? Evening, guys. Great game tonight. End-to-end football, and you were excited. I don't see your stalker in here tonight, mate. We deserve better. Our second half performance. Second half performance of the season. I think it was who else have we got in? Is that it for now? Agile Beast is giving his score prediction. I'll start that and I'll come back to that in a bit. And Mitesh, good performance. Just need to build on it and win. Win games. We need to win games in a row. That's what I want to see. 3s and 4s. But look, guys, the team, obviously the formation. We knew what the formation was. The team that was put out. Were we happy with the team that was put out? It was kind of to be expected with the players more available. Was there anybody who started who we didn't expect to be starting?
I didn't want to see Martinez start, obviously.
Oh my god, BT, you're such a hater.
I didn't want to see him start. But it was. I mean, like, were you guys happy seeing the two sort of defensive wing backs playing? That's something that you both brought up last week.
Yeah. Can I just say, like, being a Man United fan is tough because we're scrutinised so badly. So, because the stat was that when we played the two defensive guys, Maz and Dalot, we hadn't scored. And everyone said, we need to play a winger there. We had discussions about it. We covered everything about Man United in the show. So that was the discussion. If we're playing two defensive wingers, we spoke about the other day, we're sort of denying ourselves opportunities further up the pitch. But again, today against Liverpool, it was the right decision because we were away from home against a team that's 20 odd points ahead of us at top of the league. And they got Salah, who's on fire. And on the other side, Gakpo, who's... we'll talk about his goal later, but they've got strong and wingers, wide guys, strong guys down the middle. They're a really tough team to deal with. So these guys were the right choice today. If we would have played someone else there and we would have been caught out and conceded more goals, then there would have been question marks. So why aren't we playing our defensive guys? We can't please the fans all the time, can we? We're just trying to build. We're just trying to make judgment on what players are suited where. At the moment, these two are solid. And that's the solid base we needed for today's game.
Shall I go? I was happy. I was happy. I think that's I certain games maybe you do need to play um maybe the defensive minded, but to be fair, Dallo he I don't know what was I don't know if Trent tweeted him this morning and said something about his mum or his dad boy, but he battered him today. He battered him today. I'm not sure a winger would have done any more damage. He was crossing with his left foot when he had the time. He stood Trent up. He went past him. He pulled him left. He pulled him right. In that position, that has definitely been Dalot's best game. I mean, they had the first half stats with 52% of our attacks were down Trent's side. Do you think that was something that they focused on?
Yeah, I think so. Like, one of the advantages of like having a player like Delo with that kind of engine is that they'll get back and they'll get forward. And today, we saw like Delo getting ahead of the ball more often and getting into those spaces. Bruno like was carrying the ball quite a lot today as well, which was nice. And then sort of like releasing him. Like Delo was superb today. Like there were a couple of really standout performances, but I think Delo's been all right in the last two or three games, and again today he showed like how just like being fit, keep going, getting some decent quality in the box can make a big difference. And I felt that he handled Salah exceptionally well, like particularly where Salah turned him and he just held him. I really enjoyed that bit. Just wasn't letting him run past him.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Dora, Dallo.
I think he had a really good game. My issue with him is that after three good games, he would just fell off or have a bozo moment, as someone says, or something like that, a brain fart, or he still needs to learn how to, pass, short. Like sometimes he displaces passes in a very dangerous position, situations, but today, I felt like he minimized those mistakes. I felt like I think he showcased his strength, his physicality. I always felt like he was, even when he came into the club at 19 years old, he already showcased a maturity in the way, in his physicality. If you, for example, compare it to our other 19-year-olds, I think he was always a more mature player. So it was good to see that we have Dalo on point tonight, because at the end of the day, it's Salah, and it's Salah, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold as well from that side, with his attacking prowess. So yeah, it was really good to see Dalot, playing a great game, I would say. I think he minimized the threat from that right side of Liverpool's attack.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Dallo is fantastic. Look, I'm not going to big him up too much. He's a pro. He plays like a pro. He works hard. He's best in training. He looks after himself on and off the pitch. No scandals. But you're supposed to do all that. Everything he does, you're supposed to do it. Good athlete, very professional. Follows Ronaldo as in training methods and attitude. That's what you're supposed to do. So that should be the benchmark for all the players to say, okay, you might not rate Dallo, you might not think he's the best player, but he's the most professional. And enjoy your dinner, overhead kick. He's having a dinner party. Just sneak to the toilet so he can say a big hi and light to us. Hope you wash your hands as well. But what I'm saying about Dallo, that's standard. You're supposed to do that. As Dora's saying, he's going to drop off in the next couple of games or whatever. But that can happen. But at least he's given 110%. At least he put it on them today. He was up for it, and he worked his hard as he could to make himself effective in the role today. We talk about the wing backs, how they need to get up the pitch, force the other guys the other way. Do you want me to?
yeah, there you go. Sorry, there you go.
I thought it would be a ventriloquist. You start moving your mouth.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. But coming back to you, because maybe you should be on the big screen now, Mr. B, because the other day, guys, when we had a preview show, I put the question out there. I said, Mr. B, you're saying all this negative stuff about a certain man, Name me in order your top 3 defenders at the club, centre backs at the club. So, do you want to retract your statement yourself on big screen? And do you want to retract your statement because you said
No, not after.
now
No,
you
I'm not
changed your
doing.
mind?
No, I'm not doing it. He's a Ben foot. He should have scored. How's that? How's that? He should have bloody scored. Is what he should have bloody done.
It was
Yeah.
a terrible,
What are we talking
terrible,
about?
terrible
What, no one
pass
knows
to
what
him.
you're talking about here.
What? Nobody knows. Okay, then fine. No, look. I'll give Jackie's jacket. Listen. I think obviously De Ligt made 2 errors that led to goals. One where he slid into the hoardings where what's his name gave him the 1-2, and obviously the handball as well. But I say you can't say apart from that because there were 2 mistakes that cost us the goal. You know, Harry was good today. But
So at the moment, can you just list? All I'm asking, the other day, it's all right to change
he's
your
still
mind.
third. No, I'm not changing my mind.
What's my favourite tune? I change from week to week.
That's you. I'm not changing.
What is this power rankings every single week?
He's still third choice. I don't care.
So surely, from him being in the bin, you know, crushed and you're on his neck and all that kind of thing, surely now you can see that he's better than De Ligt at the moment. De Ligt might shine, like you said, he's maybe got potential, he's got age to get better. But our best centre-back, okay, in my opinion, has always been Harry Maguire. And I want you to retract your statement when you said De Ligt is better than him. Because you put him as third.
I'm not
He put him as
taking it
fourth,
back.
actually.
I think I put him as fourth, yeah.
Ahmad.
You put a midfielder in there.
Yeah, I'm at the head of him, yeah. No, look, I'm not. Listen, look, he's done well. Maguire's made too much mistakes in the time. I've seen too much shit performances from Maguire to be saying that he's better than De Ligt. De Ligt hasn't made those mistakes yet. Maybe in time, I will agree with you. And bath time. I would never admit it to you if I do. I may send a tweet to Dora saying it's been acknowledged, and I do get it, but I would never admit it to you. Look, he did well today. I'm not gonna diss him. He did really, really well today. But they all did well at the back. The whole team did well. So if that is now the benchmark that he set for himself and the team have set, fine. I have no problem with that. If that's the lowest, you know, I mean, that's the best we've played. So maybe asking for that to be a benchmark is a bit difficult. But no, he played it well. And look, we always knew in a back 3 he was better with protection. But to be fair, I think he's winning his own battles now. It's not a matter of having two defensive players in front of him and they're doing all of his work and he's cleaning up the mess. He's actually getting involved in the 50-50s, you know, and even the 60-40s that maybe you don't think he should be making. So no, fair play to him. Maybe this contract extension has given him a whole new lease of life.
He had a contract extension as well, and he played today, and he's shown once again, you know, for all the fans that doubted him, he's shown once again how important he is at the moment for us at the club. Maybe we get rid of him in a few years' time and bring new defenders in, but at the moment, Harry Maguire, we needed desire, we needed character. Harry Maguire, as well as a few other players today, represented in that respect. So I give him respect. I think he's our best centre back. I think he's said that for a long time now. And not saying De Ligt. I mean, if Maguire made the mistakes De Ligt made today, there'd be everyone would have enough views.
Yeah, because it's normal. Because it's normal.
It's not normal.
Well, it's not normal. If he
the
does,
mistakes De Ligt made, Maguire's never made those.
Yeah.
Oh, you are so serious.
Because then you'd be saying, because you could accuse De Ligt of saying he handballed the ball because he went like that. You know, when you flinch or it's going to come to your face.
No, you can't. It was a handball. The thing is, you couldn't even argue. Would you have argued with that if that was given against? I don't think. I thought it was a straight pen.
A lot of people thought that it wasn't.
Okay, he looked like an amateur.
I was shocked.
Really, Dora? People thought it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah.
What people?
Because it was like, I don't know, people online, BT, like, you know, that's why I'm not. I mean, people online, but it's just. So first of all, Maguire is a pro, as you Yaba said. He needs to perform every single week. So baggage. I think that's Maguire is currently a great defender for us. End of story. Like I cannot, discuss power rankings of our defenders every single week. I cannot. But that's the end of the story. Maguire did great. I felt like he had a great game today. But when it comes to penalty, for example, to me that was a stonewall pen. If it was if a Liverpool player, if for example Van Dijk made that handball, I would say that's 100% penalty. Also, a lot of people today say that it's not. Where could he move the arm, blah blah. That arm shouldn't be there in the first place. And it helped Michael Oliver with the decision because that ball was going to the goal. And that is, to me, a stonewall pen, and I don't think that's a point of discussion and shouldn't be discussed that much. I felt like even throughout the game, I felt, Michael Oliver, in my opinion, is not a very great ref. I think he's overhyped, but England.
To be fair, he didn't give the penalty.
No, he didn't. No, he
which is lazy. Which is lazy refereeing.
Lazy refereeing.
Yeah, lazy refereeing.
Look. Let's not get it twisted, bath time.
I don't want to talk about refs.
I'm just saying, if VAR wasn't there, then if VAR wasn't there, I don't understand how he wasn't blown for a penalty. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Obviously he knew it was going to go to VAR if he got it wrong. That's what I mean by lazy refereeing. Give the penalty. It's a penalty.
I think, to be honest, it also takes away from, like, for me, De Ligt made 3 really annoying interventions in that match. Obviously, his footwork is absolutely dreadful on the first goal. Like sliding in like that, not in control, panicky defending.
Don't you think it was smart? It was a smart play by Gakpo as well. The fact that he kind of sent him down that way.
Easy.
No?
I mean, you need to stay on your feet as a defender there. Like, you don't have to be, an ex-professional footballer. There, you cannot commit there. I mean, that's a signature Wenger move. Like, people need to understand, like, maybe if you are someone like, Ronaldinho, who has 100 moves up his sleeve to deceive the defender.
Or who's got 99, Yabba.
Yeah, or something like that.
Mr. B ain't one.
Yeah, but modern wingers, in my opinion, are in most cases they're quite one-dimensional. They're always going for that strong foot when they want to shot at a goal. And Gakpo did it consistently today. And to me, Matthias De Ligt is not an amateur. I think he's a great professional. He played on the highest, I would say, competitions and levels of football. He shouldn't compete there. He should stay on his feet. So to me, like, I like him. I think he is going to be a great defender for Manchester United. But today I felt like he looked like an amateur, and for that penalty as well, it felt like, yes, it was it went off Jota or whoever. He was close. He couldn't remove the arm, out of the way. But that hand or arm shouldn't be there. He should be with his hands, with his body. So hopefully, he learns from that and he stops, flailing like a bird. When he's trying to defend the headers.
Do you know the other thing he did, Dora, that annoyed me? Is he blocked Maguire's header.
Oh,
in the
for the corner. For the corner. Or the set piece or something like that.
Yeah, from a set piece. Like, that annoyed me.
And it was an offside call in the end. Because
he was offside as well. I just don't think that, like, De Ligt is anywhere near the level that everyone else says he's at. It might be because he's playing, like, as the outside centre-back. But I'd much prefer Yoro to come in because from what I've seen of De Ligt, he does have an issue of not being able to keep balanced and go sliding in. Like, it's similar to sort of Casemiro. And obviously Gakpo's still got to score that goal. Like, and Ugarte is also a little bit late getting out to him. And we didn't really defend that free kick. Like, Martinez gave away a free kick. Little bit too aggressive. Ugarte doesn't, like, find touch with it. We don't get out quickly enough. Like, De Ligt he's not kind of ready there. It's it's just all round sort of poor kind of basics from the entire team. But the fundamentals that Delict is missing from defending those wide situations, you'll see it again and again and again, and it worries me because he's not a good enough level to consistently get away with that kind of stuff. But it's a wonderful finish from Gakpo. But if you keep giving players of that quality the opportunity, because you're basically, that's a kid on challenge. Like, he's not defending it properly. He's turned where he should be standing his man up and forcing the ball backwards and not letting it inside. He's turned it into a 50-50 where he either, well, one of three things happens. He gets the ball, he gives away a penalty, or he slides off into the BBC over the river. Like, and I don't like that from my defenders.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think when you look at it, I mean, obviously, you can't blame Liverpool, their top team, but in the box, as defenders these days, you can't. I actually think you can't really tackle anymore. You've got to be a bit more savvy than that. And if you're going to commit, the guy is looking at you to go to ground. They want to drop you. They want to, I've seen Mr. B as a wingman, drop the shoulder, jockey, waiting for people to go to ground. And this is what Gakpo done. He jockeyed him, looked at him, waiting for him. Thought, wow, you're really going to commit all this way. He committed himself totally and gave his life to getting that ball. And that's the worst thing you can do. I think the main thing you got to do now in the box like that, in a situation like that, because you're thinking, right, you don't want him to cross the ball. But, as Dora said there, Dora made a great point saying a lot of these guys are very basic these days. All they want to do is get onto their strong foot somehow. And that's what you got to prevent. So you got to stand up. Because you got to say to yourself, well, he might cross the ball with his left foot, might not go where he wants it to. All right. So if it get a deflection or something, I don't want to go to ground. But the main thing is you got to stop him from getting onto his right foot, because that's what he wants to do. So you should have stood up or just put your foot out so you can actually, if he does do a chop on you, which he did, took him out for Chinese, chop suey, left him, in the boardings. If he does do that to you, you've got enough on you to stop and get up and block the right foot. So I was really disappointed by that, because these days you cannot commit like that. You got to be able to be like Euro. Yeah. Remember, Euro came in on the pitch and he had a tackle, timed it, ran, boom, hit the ball, and could have still stood up and got away with that. That was the sort of tackle we want to be doing. But that really disappointed with him. He will come back better, though, because I think, like some of the players showed today, he's got character to get better. And he always has to look at Maguire, what he's been through, to say, the chips are down for me now. Maguire's been through all this before. He's come back. And now, look, the fans are giving Maguire the chat. All these podcasts are talking how Maguire's fantastic. I will be there 1 or 2.
Okay. I understand your point, but I saw a message from Agile Beast on here. I am actually going to get it up while we're on the Maguire loving.
Well, can I just say before you find that comment?
Yeah.
I think that overall defending today was okay. It's just I feel like every time any opposing team comes to our box, it doesn't matter if it's a set piece or a free kick, a corner, or just a free play, ongoing play. We are very panicky in that box.
No, it's the other one. There's a slightly longer one.
And
Dora,
go on.
So I hear what you just said, Dora. So we need to improve clearly with mistakes like that. I mean, because then we could have won the game. So
I think that's a mental problem as well, Yaba, because people get players get in their heads and they just start panicking in the box, and they shouldn't. I think they should be. How do you say it? I think they should be more calm, and if they are mentally well, balanced, they are going to. I think those situations are going to be much better in the future. So hopefully, Amorim gets them, to stop panicking in those situations.
Dora. I think that, like, when you look at what's going on in front of them, it is a two-man midfield is something I'm really, really struggling with. I don't know what the roles of the players are and things like that. But I noticed that players like Curtis Jones and stuff, when they went into the pockets, a centre back would come out and basically try and stop them turning. But that's how Martinez gave that free kick away for the first goal, basically, and that's always gonna happen. But I think that you're right in the sense that this is something that's been asked of them that's very, very different. So normally, like when there's just a two in front of you, I suspect that you have to drop back and give up the space whilst you wait for the midfield to recover. Now one of them's got to go out and be that extra man. And that is against, everything that they've done for at least the 3 or 4 seasons they've been at this club, and possibly longer. And that's not going to be an automatic process. They're going to have to be judging new kind of distances and things. And today, I felt it worked quite well. I still found in the first half an hour, I think Kobe and Ugarte struggled a little bit with runners off them.
Yeah.
Like that's the big thing with the sort of 3 at the back is that is how do we deal with someone like running ahead of
Right,
the midfield into that
and
space?
do you think this is where the training, obviously the training part of it comes? Because if you've just been told this is the formation that you're playing, but you spoke about the centre backs coming and picking up the third midfielder. Maybe that's something that, because they didn't have time to teach, he sort of started at one piece and now he's going to drift onto this and then drift onto this. I understand that it's probably better to be able to get everything out, but everything comes in stages.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, what I would say, Mr. B, is eventually that will be an attacking play where someone like Martinez will be so kind of conditioned by the training. He'll know his distances, and instead of stopping the player turning, he'll be looking to get in front of the man and nick the ball. But there's so much that goes into that. It's about have the forwards put enough pressure on the ball. Is the midfield set up correctly? And this takes a lot of time on the training pitch, because you have to take your position from your teammate, the opposition, and the ball. And the more time that you go through the game model, the more time that you understand what the situation needs and what the point of it is, then you can be able to execute it. And to be honest, I was hoping to see this kind of stuff 3 or 4 weeks ago. I still feel that we're behind, but you're correct, because Amrin has, I think up until last week, he'd had 4 training sessions. And he had 2 this week, like full proper sessions with the lads. And you can see that it's made a big difference. We saw things like Delo holding his shape more. We saw like Maguire really coming out and battering people on balls, and then us competing for the second balls. Ugarte's positioning was much, much better than normal in this match, just based off the second ball component. Where when Martinez was coming in, or when De Ligt was coming in, Ugarte was either dropping or getting a little bit forward to basically it's. Do you remember when we used to put a cage around Duncan Ferguson because we couldn't beat him in the air, and we'd all pick it up? Like Ugarte's positioning was much more dependent on where the centre backs were coming out, so that we could get that second ball. And these are the kind of building blocks. So we've seen enough today to suggest that there is something there, but it's more about the commitment of the players that got us through that match. And I think someone earlier on said that we should have won that game. You can't be as poor in both boxes and expect to win the game. What we did was we did a really good competitive professional performance that gave us a platform to go and win the game. And we just need to be better in the key moments now, and we should stay up.
I think this is actually a personal one for you, Yabba, from Infected Raha. Good game today, Yabba. I can't say shit. Well played this week.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, of course you can. That's what you're there
Yeah.
for.
Okay, Inspected Raha. I like you. I like you a lot. You're a good guy, sincere guy, honest guy, humble guy. There's no shame, when people are wrong to turn around and say, they got it wrong or they're sorry. I do it all the time. I back Maguire. I stay. Didi, big up Didi. Nice to see you. He's a Liverpool fan. Coming with a different name, but anyway, my good friend of mine, and respect you. But yeah, fair play to us. We Liverpool top of the table. Everyone expected a whooping, but when you put things into perspective, all it took was for us to turn up and actually fight, and then we could compete. And that's what happened today. And the manager is a genius because he said it the other day about having that base to build on. We showed it today. And I think all fans now will be expecting a certain level of commitment every game. And I think the fans will now pick, if you're talking about booing players and all this kind of, it shouldn't be done necessarily, but the fans will be picking out players because it's easy for fans. Fans can't read tactics. The majority of fans don't know what's going on in the field tactically wise. But what they do know is when someone's not putting the work in or someone's not haven't got enough effort and someone's not wearing the badge correctly. Fans can spot that a mile off, and that's what they respond to. So it's a good thing I think we had a result like that today because now fans will be demanding that from every player and every player will feel obliged to actually perform to the level they did today.
All right, we've kind of half discussed their first goal. United's goal.
Martinez one.
Martinez.
So yeah, it was a very interesting situation because I felt like in that moment in time, look, Martinez didn't have he hasn't had a good season at all. In my opinion, I think we can all agree he has been quite poor. But and of course, when I saw him, striding up the pitch, when he has Bruno next to him, he has Dalot running into space. He has Kobe, running into the opposing box. I was like, okay, you know what? Just stop. Just pass the ball. Why are you all of a sudden going up by yourself? But of course, he runs in, he passes it off to the other guys, and he gets the ball back. And I was very scared that was an offside. But thankfully, he goes one-on-one with Alisson Becker, and he created an amazing finish, in my opinion. And I think our strikers and every attacking player on that pitch should take notes because I saw Højlund missing a similar chance, in the first half where he was one-on-one with Alisson. And this guy from the same spot goes through his head. And of course, Alisson cannot do anything with it. And he scores a cracking goal. And I'm like, this is a fucking butcher that I wanted in this club. And not a crazy whatever he was this season. He's very...
A bag boy.
Probably, yeah, because, he's been making mistakes like left and right. And this game, I think he played really, really freaking well. And he was assertive and he was, no one doubts his passion. But he was assertive, he was confident, he was determined. And that finish was absolutely amazing. And kudos to him. Apparently, congratulations to him. Because the celebration, kind of hinted that his wife being pregnant, and like
they're all having babies.
Yeah. And so congrats to him and his upcoming baby or whatever. But yeah, absolutely cracking finish, and I think he really took the situation in his hands and went by himself, and he did it insanely well.
I agree. He played with courage, like in that moment. He got ahead of the ball. He trusted in his quality. He hit, a Giggsy-like finish against Arsenal in the FA Cup years ago. He had a decent game all round, and it's got to be something that he builds on because he's been poor for a very long time, and he's got to show more of that technical quality, and he's got to get if he's going to be the left-sided centre back. Like that's the kind of stuff that we need to see from him of important interventions in the final third. So I I thought like Maguire played better as a defender today, but like Martinez has scored. Martinez has scored a goal. Uh, Martinez has scored a goal, and he did really well. But also, I think what was really important about that goal, and something that I would like to touch on, is I think Amrin actually changed his system for the first time in the second half.
You think he changed?
Yeah, I think he went 4-5-1 basically with Bruno. Bruno came in alongside Ugarte and Mainu. Yeah, he was much deeper, and I was.
Yeah, but please tell me he's wrong. Tell me he's wrong.
Sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, look, you say 4-5-1, all these formations, whether he's changed it or not. I don't think it's a drastic change. I just think sometimes when you haven't got the ball, you can position yourselves just, to utilise certain threats the manager might have felt. I don't think it's a dramatic formation change. I wouldn't say that necessarily. I don't think it was we'll be going into the next game setting up like that necessarily. I think you can be flexible and rotate a little bit and have a little bit of movement, but I wouldn't say it's a major change. Everyone was waiting to see, we should go back to a 4-3-3 and all this kind of thing. It's not going to happen, I don't think. And if it did happen, I would lose respect for the manager.
Okay, so Liverpool...
I think it did happen, Yabba. Bruno definitely changed his position in the second half.
Yeah, was that down to the sub? Who got subbed on and who got subbed off? He took off
Kobe.
Took off Kobe.
He put
Bruno dropped
in.
deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could it? I'm not going to say. I don't think he. I'm not going to. I don't think
it's
he
not.
went
It's not a massive change. Bruno's starting position was 10 yards deeper and 5 yards more inside. What he said to Rasmus Højlund, I'm assuming it was Amrin, is what was the biggest change, and led to the second goal. Because I don't know if you remember in the first half, Bruno had the ball and he played it across. And Rasmus went far post, and I got very cross at home because we'd spoken, I think yesterday, this week, about there's specific movements you need to do to get in at the front post. You need to have little tippy tappy shoes on and then stride across. And if Rasmus had done that, he'd have had an opportunity to score.
Is that the one where Bruno? Is that the one where Bruno waved at
someone?
He tried to push the ball through, I think, Van Dijk's, or I think it was Konate, through Konate's legs. Højlund was, in my opinion, in that situation, I know you said tippy-tappy, he should tippy-tappy. In my opinion, he shouldn't, just run like he should. I'm not a striker expert, I'm not a professional, but watching watching football, you kind of see how other the movements. I think Rasmus Højlund has probably the worst movements in the Premier League currently, because he's been absolutely horrendous in that part of his game. The other really bad part from him is, which is very annoying, because his movement made the goal, the Ahmad goal, but for the most of the game I felt like he doesn't move diagonally at all. He just runs straight up, and I could do that. It's just, I think he doesn't open up enough, his position, and he doesn't open up himself that much to his teammates. Hence why people are crying about the service, lack of service, blah, blah, blah. In some cases, he doesn't give his players opportunity to give him service. And I think that was the case in that particular situation where Bruno has Amad Diallo running on the right. He has Rasmus on the left, and it feels like he's running away from the ball sometimes, and I want that to change. No, but it does. Right. He doesn't run diagonally. Whenever he tries to do tippy tappy, he cannot control the ball very well. It's like
no. The tippy tappy is in the run. So you know how you talk about he runs in a straight line when he should go diagonally.
Yeah.
The tippy tappy bit is you slow your footwork down, and then you go diagonally.
Yeah.
And that he never does.
Yeah.
You know what it is? half time. Do you think it's because he commits so much to a run? Like you see, like
I've no idea.
I don't understand. That's the part of it that I don't understand because even like in our level of football, you don't start where you want to end up. So you go
Yeah.
somewhere and then you maybe throw a feint in, and he just seems to just run straight.
Yeah.
He looks very easy to defend against, but what happened in the second half that I really, really liked and I felt was really important in Ahmad's goal is he ran across Van Dijk all game. Every run he went to the near post, and
Yeah.
his run to the near post got a fairly poor Trent and Van Dijk out of the way and cleared that lane for Ahmad to tap in. And I've got to say that that has to, because I've never seen him do it all the time, and then he did it every time in the second half. Every movement was across Van Dijk. I felt that had to be a
Instruction.
tactical instruction,
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
I don't know if that's because that could be Bruno. To be perfectly honest, like as a midfielder, you tell your striker a lot of the times that they've just got to stop messing about and go there. Like push your man and make sure you get there. But it was a definite change in the second half, and it shows how just doing the basics of football can get you back into games and can give you a platform. But I'm also agreeing with you, Mr. B, that when I see Rasmus's runs in the box, I'm really puzzled what on earth he thinks he's doing, because he plays like a midfielder, like Lampard or something, where you're arriving late so you can run in a straight line to that space.
Mm.
But in the
Yeah.
box, if you look at Cavani or Ronaldo or someone like that, they leave the space open where they want to
Yeah.
score, and Rasmus is just straight into it. Like I don't understand. Like maybe, yeah, but I mean, what is he easy to defend against? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, coming up against good defense today, we felt they would get eaten up. So the way he has to be effective, because he's not going to win duels. It was like Van Dijk and who's the other guy?
Canate.
I mean, come on, you're not going to win any personal duels against these guys. So you have to sort of tire them out and be a nuisance. And with the goal, the way you brilliantly just described there about the second goal from Man United, it was unselfish run, and this is what strikers are supposed to do. Knowing he's probably not going to get the ball, but you're dragging the main man away. You know, I call him Lobo. I know about Superman comics. The main man, Van Dijk, is fantastic. I mean, we saw the defending he did today, the blocks, the leadership. He's a great defender, and that's the only way we're going to create a little bit of space, like what Bartham was saying there, by running and dragging them with you. We talk about the other side of his game. I don't blame him, because not many people are going to have much joy against these guys physically, but he needs to offer more. And because he's done that, I know there's a lot of comments in there from way back when we were talking about Maguire. Someone was saying, why aren't we talking about Haaland? He was terrible today. But it's little things like that you have to show appreciation for. And I wouldn't say he's terrible because he couldn't win anything against these top defenders, but it showed his desire, character again, that we're talking about here, for him to make that late run. And he could have just stood still like a Zlatan or wherever, but he made that run, and that in turn got us that goal, the space for Ahmad to score the goal. As simple as that. So give the guy some credit, but granted, you want to see him wrestling these big defenders and winning duels and everything else.
I don't want to see him wrestling because he can't.
Well, at least you want to see him winning some duels. If the ball's played up to him, there's one time the ball's played up to him, like I think he had a throw or something. And like you trying to, like, your defender's there, like, yeah, give it to me. And still the defender was able to push him out of the way and say, no, it's my ball. And I'm thinking, at least stick your elbow in or just do something to stop to say, look,
yeah, like
you
Darwin Nunez on Delict. Dirty
Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like Darwin Nunez on Delict. Dirty bastard.
Yeah, I mean, that was outrageous.
Yeah.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on.
Just a question
Go on.
from Steph. Because Rasmus is left-footed, would it be better if he was on the right when not central to give himself two angles of shooting?
has he actually scored? Like, what's his shooting? If you're out rating like someone out of 10 for shooting, I don't think I haven't seen him.
I don't think he doesn't have any. He doesn't have.
Bam, bam. You know, I've seen him score a good volley the other day. Was it in Europe maybe, or against Fenerbahce? Was it? I can't remember. Someone kneed it and then volleyed it. Yeah, but I haven't seen him
a couple at the end of last season from outside the box.
Okay.
He's definitely got this kind of comfort finish on the left-hand side where he lifts it over the goalkeeper. But in the last 2 games against Newcastle and today, he's fluffed that opportunity in that position where he's normally reliable. For me, his problem has always been that he hits the ball too hard and too straight. It's like he's trying to make good contact on the ball.
Yeah, instead of finishing and dinking him.
Yeah, like, I mean, strikers are weirdos. Like, they've normally got the worst touch in the team. Like, they're normally not actually... The best strikers are never technically brilliant, but they have this ability just to somehow get it in the goal. Like, you look at players like Haaland, dreadful at receiving a
Shearer.
Shearer was good at holding it up, but, like, you just need something to be a striker that other players don't have, the way you make contact. Like, look at Maguire at the end. I think a striker bounces that instead of, like, makes contact with it. He hits it into the ground.
What you talk about? He's the shot that he had, yeah.
Yeah, like, so Maguire sweeps it, and it's. I mean, for me, I think Xerxes you should be giving your players the best opportunity to score goals, and that's a really stupid pass to give to a centre back, in my opinion.
Do you think he should have shot the ball there?
No, he should have just passed it along the ground.
He was never going to shoot.
Yeah, but also, do you think that Maguire should know that Garnacho is behind him and let that ball go?
No. You're in front of goal. You're 6 yards in front of goal.
Okay.
You have to take the opportunity. But again,
I agree.
Maguire blasted it. It's not like he looked where the ball was going. So yeah, the pass might have bobbled.
But the point is that, like, a striker understands that you need a particular
but his confidence is in the his confidence is in the toilet. Xerxes, there was no way he was going to shoot.
Look, the point I'm making, right, is with someone like Rasmus did kind of what Harry Maguire did, and just tried to make good contact on the ball and hit it hard. In that position that Maguire was in, someone like, here's a blast from the past, someone like Franny Jeffers would have toe poked that into the ground because it needs a striker's finish there. My point is that with Rasmus, he's not producing strikers' finishes. He's just hitting the ball as cleanly as he can, and that's not what you need from I don't think that's how you get a lot of goals by being a striker. I think you need more cuteness with your finishes.
More finesse, more Tony Martial in him.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I mean, nutmeg the keeper, lift it over him, like, do something. You can't just blast it through the keeper the whole time.
Yeah. How do you feel about Ahmad today?
I love him.
To me, except the goal, I felt like he was a bit invisible. But once again, I think his work rate and hunger, and I think that he showcases that good, I would say, good movement in the attack or in the opposing box. So, I mean, great finish from him, great goal. Like, that is how Maguire should have struck the ball, like Ahmad did, on the ground. He poked it to the ground, and it was a grounded finish. So I felt like that finish was great. But how do you feel about his overall performance?
Well, most of our play came on the left, so like Ahmad was like the out ball. Yeah, I thought he was okay. I mean, he scored a goal. I think he gave Robertson a hard time. Like, do you know, right at the end,
his take on. Oh, I had somebody said his take on his stats were ridiculous today. His take on, he had a couple of 100% in what he did today.
I thought he did well. Like, he did well with like, there were a lot of moments where if he'd lost the ball, we were in trouble. Certainly in the build-up, because him and Mazraoui were playing pretty risky stuff a few of the times. But the thing is that Ahmad, like, people will want to see him doing all the baller stuff. But, you know, Ahmad scored today, and he made he made a difference where it counts. And I think that nothing really went down his side. We weren't getting raided by Robertson the way I feared that we might be. So I think that Ahmad, he had an unflashy good game.
Yeah.
Saying that,
Agreed.
he also scored, so maybe it was flashy.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And another point that I want to, put it out there, because I felt like this player has been quite poor as well. I think his confidence is in the toilet. Garnacho came in and he made an impact, which is a great sign
That's
for
his job.
him.
Sub. That's his sub impact player. That should be his. That should be
Yeah,
his
but
role.
but I'm saying, because in the last few games, whenever he would come in, he would just be there, not making any impact. I think that today he was. I mean, it was against Liverpool, right? I think he was very impactful today, and he made that assist. So kudos to him in that regard. Hopefully, his confidence is going to get better, and we are going to see a better Garnacho, because I mean, we need our players to be informed, because currently they're not.
So before I forget, there was something that annoyed me with Ahmad. It was that header. I was very, very frustrated.
Oh, when he
by
headed
that.
it backwards.
Yeah, like that's sorry. That's,
He's overeager there. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, we deserve better. That's why I was hesitant, because I was trying to remember that it was something he did that that he should have been marked down for, and that was just once again. There are a couple of moments in that match where some players look like amateurs, and Ahmad looked like a child on a bouncy castle. Like, he injured himself, like, trying to score an open goal, and I thought that was annoying. But what I quite liked about it is that there were only 2 moments where Ahmad really got ahead of the ball into central areas, and he should have scored twice. Like, so he definitely scored one by getting ahead of Robertson, and he should have scored that header. And I would like to see him do that more often, but it could be that, like, Ahmad has looked at the situation and understood that's the time to go. I'm not, I'm not sure about it, but I would also I still think his best performances have been in a wing-back position. But apart from De Ligt, I've got no issues with anyone today, and I thought Garnacho had a very mature performance when he came on. There was none of his ridiculous curlers or anything like that. He got an assist. I think, he was offside stupidly actually once, but
Yeah.
maybe he wasn't. But I don't know, but what were you thinking?
What I did notice because obviously we know Garnacho's been out of favour lately, and he's seen Rashford having to leave the club, and he needs to turn it up with his professionalism. When he came on the pitch, I don't know if you saw a close up of his face. Obviously someone comes on the pitch, but he's like really determined. And that sort of stood out to me, that his face, it was like, right, I'm here, I'm on this, and he showed it with his performance. He obviously he's got a bit of a threat, a bit of an outlet as well. As Mr. B was saying, he's always been renowned for us coming on and having an impact. He will have an impact because he's direct, he's fast, he's good on the dribble, and he will cause problems, especially late in the game like that. Especially Trent got dragged because we're in trouble here. If we keep giving this guy space and Trent's allowing them to play as it always was down the left, then they're going to have a lot of problems. And we didn't cause a lot of problems down that area. And bringing Garnacho on was key. Good sub by the referee at that point to bring him on.
Well, good sub by the referee.
Sorry, beg your pardon. Good sub there by the manager to sort of bring him on at that time. And he got a reaction from their manager to say, Garnacho's on now. Let's bring on the more young defensive minded.
He did nearly score, though, that young boy. Bradley looked a good player to me. I was like, Onana, he did a couple of things today that I really, really like. One is that he found Delo regularly with a little switch out that we don't see very often. But am I being harsh to say Onana should have saved that penalty?
No, you're not.
No.
I felt the same because he knew it.
Hit it hard. He hit it hard, man.
He knew it himself, because just after the pen, he went down, with his head to the ground, and he knew he had a hand on that ball. Like, it's just it was. I think it was, to me. It was. I think he should have saved it. I think he should have saved it. I don't. I didn't feel like that was the hardest hit Salah ever made with his penalty. I don't think it was. It's just I think he has greasy hands. He had greasy hands.
Yes, I thought he was okay, Onana, today. Like Andrew's saying, he's not.
Overall, he is, but that pen, he should have.
Yeah, he should have saved it, and also like he took a hell of a chance against Conor Bradley, standing that far out from his post. Like because Yaba saying that that was a forced change or whatever. Like that really could have undone so much good work. The position he was in there, and I don't know if that is like Peter Schmeichel style goalkeeping of like kind of forcing a player to do something or taking control of the ball. I don't know enough about goalkeeping or refereeing apparently.
I think it is when they had the penalty, you could see Onana was trying to play as mind games and was getting in and around the players and trying to put them off and whatever he was saying or doing. Just his presence alone is good. You see, we've all seen the penalty where he sort of stands one side of the goal and points.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's mind games, really good. I like to see that from goalkeepers. And the thing is, for me, he went the right way with the penalty. That's a win already. And, when we're sitting there watching and we're saying to ourselves, which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to go? And I was thinking Salah was going to go the other way for some reason. But he read it, just went under his hand, because when he dived, it was like, it wasn't in the corner. So if he's put his hand down a bit lower, he would have got a hand on it or something. But it was hit nice and powerfully. That's all you can ask for when you're taking a penalty. Hit it nice and hard into the corners. If the keeper saves it, it's a great save. If the keeper goes the right way and you hit it hard and clean, you should still expect to score, because you're likely to get one hand or a palm in it, and it's a tough thing to do. So I wouldn't put any sort of be vexed about him not saving that, because he went the right way, he did enough to put them off, to make them nervous, and it just unfortunately just didn't get a stronger hand on it. I
guess so. I felt like Onana should get a bit of credit today, because he's been poor recently, and I felt he did some all right saves. Like he was good on the ball. Like I was a little bit worried, because we had a 2-man midfield, that Liverpool were going to press us to death, and I think that we earned the right in the early stages of the game, like for them not to press us. Like we managed to play out okay against them and regularly find the low. And I think you have to give credit to Onana, De Ligt, Maguire, and Martinez for putting us in a position where we're not gonna have McAllister and all these people like charging at us. So that was nice to see.
Can I just put something out there? Are Liverpool as good as we were worried about? Are they that good compared to recent good sides over the years who have won titles? Because I don't think they were that good today. When I was looking at it, I was thinking, they got McAllister from Brighton, who's coming into his own. They've got Gravenberch, who's doing fantastic, young guy. They had Curtis Jones in there, who's doing pretty well for them. I'm looking around the side and think, okay, surely, they're not the best. You said the other day about their previous midfield three of what's his name?
Milner, Henderson, Gini, Wijnaldum.
Yeah, that was really,
a better team.
Yeah, that was a good.
You know what? I just think that. Yeah, go on. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
So I'm just putting out there. I think I'm not that surprised that we got a draw there.
Yeah, you shut Salah down.
But once you put it on them and we do something, I think we can match them.
I don't think we can match them. I'm not going to be ignorant enough to say that.
We just did.
Yeah, we did. I know, but then they gave us a 3-0, which made us fear, which put the fear of God into us before this game. So Liverpool are ahead of us, levels ahead of us. But what I think it's shown today is that all those non-believers in the formation, if these players have their heads screwed on, then we will be. We didn't go in Liverpool and defend. We actually went for them like, we actually went for them like we thought we could have beaten them. We didn't sit back and hide. I actually thought that we went out there and played with a lot of confidence today. Like, hold on, not necessarily toe to toe, but we didn't hide, we didn't shirk. And if that's how we're going to be playing moving forward, I'll be over the moon. One thing I did notice was Dalot crossing with his left foot. Those
Good
are
crosser.
the things. Those are the things that a natural left footer would be able to do all the time, and it becomes natural. That's where I think that players coming into the formation are going to improve what he
Right.
wants to do. And that's more what I was thinking, because normally the last couple of games, Dalot's been checking back and then cutting in to send the ball. By that time, the team's already set. You know what I mean? At least now he's able to go down. Look, whether it was just today because he was playing up against Trent and Trent gave him that space. But I just think if we get players to play in this system now a little bit better. I mean, Kobe, this was one of Kobe's better games today. I think this is the best Kobe's played. He had a good game the second half that he came on. Not going to say he was back to what we saw last season, but I thought Kobe was really, really good today in there.
Yeah,
Who's
agree with that. I think that I agree with the opinion that Kobe struggled a bit in the first 15 to 20 minutes and maybe even more. But it was mostly due to the defensive structure. I think that few times Alexis McAllister was all alone, and Kobe should have followed him, and he didn't. That chance where Salah made it over our defense to McAllister was very dangerous. McAllister couldn't finish. So I think he will learn that as he gets stronger. But overall, especially in the attack, even I would say towards the end of the half, at the beginning of the second half, he was very good on the ball, and that's what I want from him, to be very good with the ball, to keep that ball safe in his legs, and him and Ugarte did really good job of doing that. And what I like about that is that intensity didn't look gassed today for once, in my opinion. He looked like someone that sub from Amorim was more due to tactical thing, because we needed some more attacking. We needed more attacking, right? Garnacho came in instead of him. Bruno went back to the midfield, and this is this is what I need to see from Kobe, right? Not him being subbed off because he's gassed, but due to maybe tactical thing, because we are chasing a result, or maybe we are in the lead or whatever. I felt like this is one of the rare games, especially this season, where Kobe Manu didn't look gassed, and I welcome it, honestly, because I want to see this kid succeed at Manchester United.
I got to say, I wasn't blown away by Kobe and Ugarte today the way everyone else was. I think that they were both perfectly fine, like no issues with them, but they didn't really give us too much control. What they were two kind of they were just dueling all game, whether that was Kobe dribbling or Ugarte trying to clean up seconds and things. That too, I think, doesn't really give you a platform to really control a game. But what I did like is that we tried to play through with them a lot more. There was much less of this kind of like Onana to Maguire to Martinez to the wing back and then back again. Like we tried to use them, and I just think that I see Mr. B said something interesting about the formation. Like, doubters have got to say that it's finished. The two games that we've won using this formation have been against City and against Liverpool, who are two of the better, more possession-hungry teams in the league, and we've denied them the spaces that they normally thrive in. We haven't, with a two-man midfield, we haven't really kind of controlled a game, and I don't think that Kobe or Ugarte really controlled the game today, and I think that maybe we can make a better judgment when we get a specialised wing back that comes in, because I'm not completely sure what their jobs are in the team really, but I've got no complaints with either of them today. Obviously, I'd much prefer Ugarte to be better on the ball. Like, even that chance at the end for Maguire, Ugarte played the most outrageous ball I've ever seen. You should never play that ball. That was incredible. Like, and Kobe, like he was good on the ball. He was a little bit too disconnected, I feel. I don't know. I think that when Bruno dropped deeper in the second half and made more of a kind of three, I think you saw them play a lot better. So, I don't know if that is the blend, to be honest, Kobe and Ugarte.
Just going back to, like, we were talking earlier about change things or tweaking things. He did, like Liverpool, they brought off Curtis Jones, who was in and around battling with Kobe, and they took him off and brought on Jota, who's really a forward. So did they change their formation, or did they change their system or something? They were going for it. They brought in a forward and they had to change something. Does that mean they're more vulnerable in midfield because they taken off from midfield and brought in a forward? You know, so managers do things throughout the game to make, you know, to give them an advantage or change things or give the opposition something to think about. And I think that was really brave by Liverpool to take off a midfielder and bring on Jota. And it sort of made the game more open, I imagine, as it was towards the end of the game. It was really exciting in the second half. Granted, I missed the first half. I was busy. I missed the first half, so I'm trying to wing it. But apparently, there wasn't much going on. You talked about McAllister chance, and I just had a header by Ahmad and Rasmus missing a chance. I haven't seen all of that. But the second half, I felt like I've seen the whole game. It was full of incident, full of so many things to talk about. Was there? You mentioned earlier about Bartha, about that Uruguayan guy running into
Darwin Núñez, the dirty bastard.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, that's a major talk. You know, he got card for that, thank God. You know,
that should have been a red. That's a deliberate.
It could be, yeah. It's dangerous play. And just one thing I want to touch on, which we didn't see because the game is so up and down. It's like fast break. But was there a penalty shout for Man United? Because I saw Harry Maguire waving his hands up, but I never saw a replay. To say what happened. Was it handball or something? And with their goal, when they talked about offside, they didn't show the lines. So sort of, there was no clear indication to me. I thought, is it offside with Gakpo's goal, for example? And they never showed the lines.
They offside.
It was.
But then he was definitely offside when the ball was played, and then he was in an onside position when he scored. So he was judged not to be active. But I personally, I hate talking about refs and decisions and things like that. In a game like today, the slightest thing can make a difference. Like, I remember one of their players, I think it was Trent, they had a really good opportunity for a counter attack, and he booted it straight to Martinez, like the one guy that was there. But what I was really pleased with today is I felt we defended corners a lot better, and I felt we defended our own corners a lot better. Like, I can remember maybe a year or two ago, Liverpool broke on Arsenal at a corner, and it was genuine, something like 5-on-1 with Declan Rice. Do you remember that? Like, Liverpool are incredible at transitioning from defending corner kicks. And today, I felt once again we're so well set up compared to when we played them like 6 months ago. Like, we're not getting cut through in the middle. We're not conceding like transition goals. We're just kind of getting undone by individual errors still.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating for me because I really, really hope that tomorrow that they get Rasmus and they get De Ligt and they just make them learn how to do tippy-tappy movements. Because we'd be a lot better if we just had these fundamentals in our game.
Yeah. And I think that even though we are kind of woeful in the Premier League standings, I can see positives in Amorim's work. I still think that he has a lot of things to do. I think this squad is broken, not just mentally but tactically, obviously, because we, as you guys said, we are obviously seeing these players making unforced errors during games, which you see, and oh my God, even my amateur local team sometimes, they cannot make that kind of mistake like our players are doing. But I think Amorim, I think he knows what he's dealing with. And even after today's game, he just went into the locker room. He didn't even, say hi, said hi to Slot or whatever. He just went to that, locker room, feeling like he wanted to win that game. You could see that, for 90 minutes, you could see them, you could see him saying to these players, go up the pitch, attack, attack, attack. He's very active on the sidelines. I wouldn't say he's micromanaging the team, but he's showing the players where to stand, or where to be in the specific situations. And I believe that he knows what he's dealing with, and I think that this transfer. I don't expect anything from this transfer,
Have you
but
seen
I
his
think
comments?
in summer he is disappointed, right?
He's right. So he liked the performance, but it's made him incredibly angry because of the other performances. Like
Good.
he's seen what
Good.
they
Good.
can do, and he's really angry with them.
Yeah.
that they
Good.
And that's a
haven't
good
done this
sign.
Before.
Good.
I think that's brilliant management.
Good.
Yeah. So
Good.
I think that Amorim he is doing, despite the results. I think we all knew that this is going to be a rough season, especially after Ten Hag has gone, but yeah, I think Amorim is doing slowly but surely. I think he's doing a really good job with.
Do you think
With this team.
that's his first team now? The one that started today? Would that be his first choice 11? With
I
the
believe so.
exception of Mason Mount.
Yeah.
I believe
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I agree. If Mount is healthy, he starts that game.
If Mount is healthy, then Ahmad goes to the right. Ahmad
wing
goes
back
to the right.
position.
Yeah, go to the right, I think.
The Kobe gets dropped.
No. I think Kobe stays. I think Mount plays beside Bruno, and Ahmad goes to the right.
So yeah, but who's getting dropped? Is it Maz or is it Delo then?
Delo.
Delo.
Yeah,
I think it might be Delict or Martinez that gets dropped, with Maz going in to that centre back position.
Yeah, he's very solid there. Yeah.
I think Delict would be. Certainly after today, I think he's got to go to his Delict cave and work on his footwork, because he's sliding too much. It's like Casemiro all over again, where he comes down his big water slide.
And it's worse if he's at centre back. I suppose.
Big up to Tactical Devils, by the way, and everyone in the
That's
comments.
Jarvis and Stewart.
Sorry?
That's Jarvis and Stewart. You know Stu Woolley from Rich's channel.
Oh, right. Okay. Big up, guys. Just quickly, yeah, I want to shout out Euro as well. I mean, he's come in. He's a big sensation from France. He's come in.
Made a
And
sweet
every time
tackle.
I see him today, it was great to have that experience of playing in the Merseyside derby. I said Merseyside. Playing on Merseyside. I've messed up a few times, haven't it? PMT and all this kind of thing. But yeah, it was great for him to come on. When I saw him come on, and he looks a bit goofy, doesn't he? He makes me laugh. But he's someone. He played his passes like boom, boom. You give it to him, unnerved a little bit, even though the atmosphere was strong. And it's like sometimes you think you want to go with it. Oh my God, I don't want the ball. He gets the ball, plays it simple, into feet. He pinged the ball cross field as well. Thought, okay, ticks that one for my locker. The tackle he done on the Uruguayan, nice time to, I always say you should be risky going to ground. You can't tackle these days unless you time it perfectly.
Wan-Bissaka like, wasn't it?
Yeah, because there's two types of things. So we saw Maguire give a free kick away, which he was complaining about against Salah. Do you remember when they had a free kick just outside the box? Yeah. And they said, but he got the ball first, but it's just his following leg went through him. To me, Gary Neville was saying, no, that's not a foul. I was saying that's not a foul. But you need to tackle. Come on, you need to be able to tackle. And if you've done it in the box, are you saying that would be a penalty as well? I'm not sure. That was a tough one for me, because you got the ball, you had to reach out to get the ball. It's just that what you're supposed to do, move the rest of your body just to avoid touch, just get in contact with Salah on the afters. You got the ball. I think that's enough. So when I saw the two things, saw Maguire give a foul away outside the box, then two tackles in the box with Euro and the leg going to ground and getting cut in half. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really tough for defenders. You go to ground, you're taking a risk, and Yoro ran, got back, timed it, and clapped him and got the ball and just played on. And I thought it was really good of him. And I think we're slowly, sorry, Dora, but I just think we're slowly seeing the development of the guy. And I just want to give him points because every month I want to do a review of our new players and things like that. And I'm watching this guy, and he ticks a lot of positive things for me today. What do you think, Dora?
I just want to add on about Euro. I liked he had some good. I wouldn't say progressive passes, but in some situations when you are under pressure by the opposing team, you always want to give it to goalkeeper and start over again. He saw Ugarte was free. He passes to Ugarte in the midfield. Ugarte passes it to Ahmad, and all of a sudden, or Mazraoui, and Mazraoui does it to goes for Ahmad, and all of a sudden you are in a position where you are counter-attacking essentially. So I liked his progressive passes, I would say, and I liked his long passes, diagonal long passes, which were, I think, 2 or 3 times. It was really, really good from him, and you could clearly see that he is a talented footballer and that he is only going to get better. And when sometimes he feels like, he sometimes, because he's young and, he still is learning from, how to play with his team and everything, he sometimes listens to his teammates too much. Whenever you pass me the ball, he passes it. And then sometimes over the time, I think his instincts are going to get better. And I think he's going to be a great asset for Manchester United. So I just wanted to shout out his, there are some, when he started at United, he had some dodgy passes, blah, blah. But against Liverpool, this game against Liverpool, the biggest English derby ever, you see this guy, making progressive passes and, going for long diagonal balls to Dalot, to Garnacho, in a very, I would say, very hard atmosphere. I mean, I wouldn't say a very hostile atmosphere at ANFIELD because it was a theater. So I just want to ask Bart before we go. Bart, where is that, how do you say it, atmosphere of Liverpool? You never, or whatever it's, you never walk alone. Where I felt like I was in a freaking theater watching a Shakespearean tragedy. And by the way, have you seen the videos? ANFIELD is leaking. Leaking.
Yes.
Yes.
We're in no position to laugh at Anfield.
I don't care.
Oh, we are, but there's no
ANFIELD
position to laugh at us. But they're in no position to laugh at us then, half time.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Euro, because I've got something to say about Euro.
Sorry,
as well.
I needed to get that off my chest because it's been bothering me. It was a very, kudos to United away fans. You are absolutely amazing fans. Kudos to you going to every away game.
Yeah, and shout out to Dalot for saving that photographer. That was that was really good. But I'll tell you what I liked about Dalot, which neither of you meant about Euro, that neither of you mentioned, is that in a 3 centre-back system, I have been wanting to see someone carrying the ball for a very, very long time. We see Martinez putting his foot on the ball and trying to pass through the lines and things, and that only kind of really works, I've noticed, when Eriksen plays, because he's a proper technician to receive it. But today, Maguire was doing something really, really interesting that he wasn't doing to De Ligt, is that he was offering space to Yoro when he received the ball. He was because normally you're coached to pass the ball to the guy's far foot in defence. It's it's to do with inviting presses and so on. But Maguire was playing almost kind of he was playing the ball in front of Yoro, and Yoro was galloping onto it and was going up the pitch and was then either fizzing nice little balls into Ugarte, or when Garnacho was a little bit lazy, that crossfield pass I think was from Yoro. I'm really, really excited to see Yoro come into this team as a starter and offer that kind of galloping attack from the last line, because when he played his first competitive game, we got it wrong and Yoro was too far ahead of the ball and they scored. And I think it shows great kind of commitment to Amrin's game model. that today there was a definite plan that Yoro was going to be the free man and get us up the pitch, and I was really, really excited about that. And I would wonder if Delict might be in a bit of trouble at the moment with his starting position, because he definitely can't do that. He's not.
I think
as good
his
as
best. I
Maguire.
think his best position is centre of the three. If it's
Do you
him
think
and
he's
Maguire,
better than Maguire
yeah,
in that position?
I would rather play him than Maguire. But that's just me being me. Either one of them play. Don't play both of them then. If that's the case, play Yoro on his best side. Let them two fight it out for their side, and let whoever fight it out with mouth. Competition is good. Competition is good, bath time. You know what I mean? And when you're winning, you always want to play, and you know that mistake you make is the one that can cost you your place. So long may the competition continue. One more from Tactical Death before we do say au revoir.
Did you
Before
call
we
him
say
Tactical Death?
Tactical Devil. Did I say
Okay.
Dev? Yeah, I said didn't I say Devil? I said Devil. Get lost, bath time. Did a week on the Amrin show today, our movement and decision making felt sharper with better tempo control and purposeful possession.
I don't know about purposeful possession or tempo control. I thought that the defensive setup was a lot better. I think that we saw Bruno carrying the ball a lot more, which I think is testament to the fact that you can't really transition properly with the structure he uses on the pitch. If the wing backs are too far back, like you can't do a traditional transition. So I feel that what we saw was players understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the system a bit more. I'd still really, really, really want to see us play through the block rather than around it. And I'd also, before I forget, all our thoughts go out to Marcus Rashford, who enters his 4th week of an illness. So it's serious, lads.
Very good.
Guys, we've been on here for an hour and a half waffling. Guys, if you are still in the chat, thank you for still being here. We will be back tomorrow. Is it an 8 p.m. tomorrow?
I can do 8. Yeah, but you round at 8?
I'm working to 8, Monday and Tuesday.
9 o'clocker then.
Yeah. Look, we will be here to
do 8 o'clock, and I'm going to try and set up the StreamYard so I can do something in the morning, maybe.
No problem. All right. Well, that works. Guys, look, hit the notification bell either way. We got the 30 live likes, which is the most important thing for us at this stage. So thanks for that. It was 2-2. Wasn't quite the result we wanted, but it was the result that that Bath Time expected, funny enough. So fair play to Bath Time. I said we will be back tomorrow. We might have an early one. We're definitely gonna have a late one. So it's like a notch from me.
Like a notch from me.
Like a notch from me.
Like a notch.